Welcome to Barstool Sports Center, presented by DEVOUR Frozen Foods. I am your host, Gus Gagnon. This is my new Aggie friend, Marty Sierra.
Ho ho ho, you fat fuck, how we doing?
I'm good, Nas. Hopped up on sugar as you are.
I'm jacked up right now, Gus, fat fuck.
Speaking of fat fucks, in tonight's game we got Ryan Reaves. He's going to kick my ass for that, and I don't care. Ryan Reaves versus Nate Schmidt. It's a Golden Vegas Night versus a Golden Vegas Knight. That's not their names. It's the Vegas Golden Knight. It's a stupid name. It's a dumb name. There's no need for the extra golden thing. Just be the Vegas Knights. It's the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Vegas Golden Knights. You know when two teams play who have a similar jersey and you're like, oh, you joke like, oh, we'll never be able to tell who's got the puck or who's got the ball out there. How about if they have the same exact jersey? That's what happened tonight. Let's get to the ice. Nate Schmidt gets on the board first, 1-0 Golden Knights. If you were going to give Nate Schmidt a nickname, how would you give that?
Schmidt.
Committed. That's not great. It's not great, but it's also not as bad. It's Smitty. They kept calling him Smitty. That's just not his name. It's as stupid a nickname as you can possibly have. Smitty, when your name's Schmidt. It's like close to having your name right, but just not at all having your name right.
Schmitz is good.
Schmitz is pretty good. I can deal with Schmitz. Nate Schmitz is great. He's also tied up 1-1 with Ryan Reaves on this goal here. And then it's all over for Smitty. Ryan Reaves scores 3 unanswered in the second, and I'll tell you what, this is buns for Smitty.
You don't know that word. What's buns?
Buns, I didn't learn. I learned it tonight, and I love learning new words. Especially love learning new words from hockey players. Smitty said something was buns every time I missed the net. That's buns. That's buns. Buns, if I'm using context clues, is bad. Ryan Reaves scoring 3 goals unanswered, that's bad for Smitty. Buns for Smitty. Smitty does attempt to make the comeback, scores 2 goals, and comes up just short. Just about as short as his nickname does, to making sense with his name.
He's lucky that Reaves is good at this game because he's a fighter. He's like barely plays supposedly. He has a soft spot. He had his kid crying on the stream and shit. You can't have that as a fighter. You can't have kids and you're fighting people every day.
Now I will get Smitty's back on this too. I bet he was playing under a lot of stress. All the movers were moving him into a house. So people are moving into a house for him while he's sitting on the couch. That's like having the cleaning lady over your house. You just get uncomfortable. You get tense. It's not great. It's not your best performance. Anyway, Reaves takes game 1, 4-3. That's the final score. On to game 2. Game 2, Reaves continues the onslaught just like he's been doing to Nate. Nate was asked to come on. They said, let's get Nate on. And Reaves went, no. Just bashed his face in yet again. But Reaves takes a 2-0 lead.
But Gus, how the fuck do you even know? They're the same jerseys. They barely celebrate. I watched and had no idea what was going on. I didn't like it.
You always watch for the Whitney hands. Smitty gets on the board late in the second. I'll tell you what, I see a strategy developing here because Reaves was in the middle of a really good story about getting in fights in preseason games. That's when he gives up his goals. If you can get your opponent to start telling tales, I see a victory in the future for you. Smitty, riding the momentum, ties it up. Third period, 2-2. What's going to happen? Are we going to get our first game 3 in the first round of this tournament still somehow? Marty, what do you think?
Guess what, Gus? Nope. This tournament refuses to go to game 3, and I don't even give a shit no more.
It's one of those things where the blowout's gone so far, I'm rooting for it to get worse. I never want a game 3 once. I want sweeps across the board. Ryan Reaves gives us that gift by putting in 3 in a row so he can get to his grill to wrap his ribs, whatever the hell that means.
We're still in round 1, Z.
Round 1, matchup Z goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Ryan Reaves advances, him and the crying baby. Reaves 75 beer. They're pouring it all over themselves in the locker room. They're eating ribs. They're throwing crying babies. It's pandemonium in Vegas, as always. I short-circuited there. Series Z goes to Ryan Reaves, which kind of rhymes.
And we're partying
that doesn't.
With loud luxury on the Spittin Chiclets in the Instagram, and I'm skillily doing.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. It's Friday night. It's Saturday morning, baby.
On for the Pink Whitney shot of the night. The most important shot of the night, Marty. Which one is that, do you think?
3-2.
It's the one that ends the night. It's always the most important shot of the night. It's like a bartender pouring you a shot of Jameson with a tab. That's how you know you're at a great bar. That's the best shot of the night. Here it is. We had Smitty with some great zone possession here, right? You thought he might do something. 2-2 game, late in the third. Maybe he's going to pull this one out. Brutal turnover. Ryan Reaves turns around, comes down the ice with it. Little crisscross, applesauce, piss pass, ripping ass. Boom. Right in front of the net. Alex Tuck picks up the garbage. Not even real garbage because it wasn't a rebound, but picks up the garbage like they taught you in Mighty Ducks 3. Buries it home. GWG. No need for game 3.
Tucks it in just like your wife. Tucks in your candy because she doesn't want you to get fat and find it, baby. That's how we're tucking that into the back of the net.
Tucks it in like you give Tuck jobs. That's what it was.
That's how I got my first one. It was like a piano.
Now it's time for the most important part of the night. It is one little thing that's actually a big thing. Now, what's happening in my home right now, my parents' home, is disgusting. It's a disgraceful act that makes me want to leave and perhaps just disown them. The air conditioning is broken. As you've seen, my hair has gotten all fucking big during this show. I'm starting to sweat. I'm sweating here. I look like just, I don't know, a character in Bloodline. I look like Matthew McConaughey in A Time to Kill. I got this stupid jacket. It is. I've been talking just the sweat on the face here, kind of with the curls though too. But here's the point: the air conditioning is broken, and it feels like a little thing. It's something we take for granted in this life. At least everywhere has air conditioning. It's just a fact of life, Unless you go on vacation in Central America, wherever you go is going to have air conditioning. And when you lose it, when you just don't have it, it becomes clear that it's the greatest invention of all time.
We don't give enough credit to these inventions. We give credit to doctors saving lives. We give credit to NASA peeing on the moon. We give credit to idiots. This guy, whoever did it in air conditioning, my friend doesn't have it. I sweat my ass off. You're gonna need a doctor if you don't have the air conditioning. So the air conditioning is the chicken and the egg.
You touched on something I thought was important, that we know names of astronauts. We know who walked on the moon, right? We know who makes these big movies. We know all these celebrities. We don't know who invented the air conditioner. Walk down the street, ask any stranger. You say, "Excuse me, sir, who invented the air conditioner?" No one knows, and that's a goddamn shame. That's a goddamn shame. In fact,
and I know who made the toilet. John Crapper.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave you with one little thing that's actually a big thing. A fun fact on top of it. The man who invented the air conditioner, Willis Carter. In 1902, a 25-year-old engineer from New York named Willis Carter invented the first modern air conditioning system. The mechanical unit, which sent air through cooled coils, was not aimed at human comfort, however. It was designed to control humidity in the printing plant where he worked. Well, thank you, Willis Carter. That is an unbelievable sacrifice you made by getting hot and almost dying in that printing press, wherever the hell it is you worked. Yeah, I'm so happy to have it in my air conditioning room one time in the future.
Gus, wait till you get your fat ass and your hands on a cooler in the car. The seat coolers in the car. Unbelievable.
The seat coolers in the car reign so far supreme to the heated seat. The heated seat is bullshit. The heated seat stinks. But a cooled seat, that'll change your life just like our next game will. Tuesday night, tune in, 8 o'clock. We don't know who's playing. We don't know what round it is.